When do you think was the golden age of the railways? In my mind, there's probably three times that it could have been this time. First, around the beginning when they started coming out, around the late 1830s, 1840s, up to about the 1850s, 1860s. It is at this time they were really trying to show off the railways, trying to get the public to buy into this new technology. They were making grand structures for stations and all that sort of good stuff. Box tunnel, Maidenhead viaduct, impressive features, making it look as splendid as possible. But the technology in the locos at the time hadn't really caught up with the idea. That needed to come later. The next period, I would say, we're probably talking about the 1860s, 70s, 1880s, that sort of period. The railways had become established by this time. Technology has started to really improve. Locos were becoming more powerful. The coaches were now bogeyed so you could fit more people in there. You had toilets facilities in there, you had dining cars, all that sort of thing. There was luxury. They were catering for having tourists coming and really being used. But were they becoming too confident? They were the leaders of transport at the time. The actual stations themselves and so on, they weren't built to the same scales and the same grandeur that they were built earlier on. And then there's the last period, I think, could be called the greatest golden age of the railways. The interwar period is the start of the Big Four. Railways were receiving a lot of competition at the time from the motor buses. If you catch my channel on YouTube, you'll see there's a lot of small railways closing around about this time. The big railways were suffering as well. So they needed to show off more. They came up with grand schemes. They made their trains more efficient, faster. Better locos were coming out. I mean, we hear it quite a lot, people waxing lyrical on Flying Scotsman, the A4 Pacifics, Mallard breaking the speed record, Caerphilly Castle becoming the fastest train, the Duchesses, the grandeur of them, the spam cans and all that sort of thing. They were all hard in our memories because the railways were having to use these new technologies to come out and to really promote themselves to fight against the new motor transport coming out. So they're using television, they're using radio, posters and all that sort of thing. Actually, it's trying to make the trains look more fancy to try and get people to use them rather than use motor cars. So that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. In the meantime, if you haven't checked it out yet, check out my YouTube channel and look at the monthly videos that come out where I look at some of the lesser known areas of the railway history.